The Xbox Ally X has been out for 5 months to this day, and I want to go through everything I love and maybe not so love about it. So this is probably going to be quite a long video, so I'm just going to dive into it. No waffling, let's go. Let's start with ergonomics. Now I want to touch on ergonomics because honestly it's the major change over the previous ROG Ally iterations. The Xbox Ally X has gone full controller mode, taking inspiration from, of course, the Xbox controllers, and honestly, aesthetically, it's a love or hate thing. When I very first saw the leaks and we reported on them all that time ago, I was a bit like, oh, I don't really like it, but I do have to say now, it's grown on me. It has grown on me, I can't lie. And honestly, looks don't really matter because the important thing is how it feels in hand. And I have to say it, out of everything that I've tried, by far, it is the most comfortable. And of course, that's due to the controller horns. It just lets your hands naturally rest on the asymmetrical joystick layout that they've kept, and really does feel like you're just using an Xbox controller. The joystick tension as well is great this time around, and that means that the device is absolutely excellent for playing FPS games because the right stick is perfectly accessible and doesn't give you any hand cramps over time, like many of the competition. The screen is even angled slightly as well, so it aligns perfectly to your wrist placement whilst holding the controller horns. So ergonomically, I'm a big fan. Whether you like the look of it or not, that's down to you. I'm still a bit like up in the air, but it definitely has grown on me, but it is so comfortable to play with. Now the face buttons, unfortunately, are pretty loud. They're quite rattly in my opinion. And yeah, I would have liked them to be a bit tighter. But overall, the inputs are great. The triggers, the bumpers, everything feels really good, and I have to say my favorite understated feature is actually the impulse triggers. That's right, there's actually little rumble motors in the triggers, just like a Series Elite controller. And in my opinion, it actually improves game immersion, and I've always been a big fan of the little rumble motors in triggers, especially when you're playing a shooter. You really feel like you're shooting that gun. It's really, really cool. Now there's 2 programmable back paddles, which is great, but I kind of wish there was 4. Sorry, it's just a me thing, I think. And the reason being is because it's a PC, I actually like setting more than just 2 additional buttons. So I want more than 2 rebinds or macros or whatever, and 2 just feels a bit lacking to me, but it's probably just fine for most people. Again, I'm more of like a power user. Now the D-pad isn't my favorite either. It's a bit clicky and stuff. It's not actually like a micro switch at all, but mine just kind of like when you roll around it kind of sticks just a little bit. Now as for the main buttons, it's a bit of a weird one. We've got an Xbox button, and this is cool. This brings up the game bar and task switching, carousel, all that good stuff. That's great. But then we have a dedicated Armoury button that also brings up the game bar. Now, I do like that because it immediately goes to the Armoury Crate tab, but honestly, you can just press the Xbox button and then press left on the D-pad once to achieve the exact same thing. Then on the right-hand side, we've got the dedicated Xbox Library button, and this opens up the Xbox app and takes you right to, of course, the Library tab. Now, I get its appeal, but I don't actually use it. Sometimes I do, but very, very rarely. Now, of course, I want to talk about ease of use, the UI, Xbox full screen experience, Xbox mode, whatever they decide to land on a name with because they keep changing it. But besides the point, we've got video guides on the channel, so subscribe and check those out, that squeeze every ounce of performance out of these devices by adjusting settings, optimal like setup guides and all that good stuff. But it is perfectly playable out of the box without any of the tweaking that we recommend that you do. So out of the box, it's running Windows 11 and of course the new Xbox mode, Xbox full screen experience, whatever they decide to call it. This is a curated handheld focus user interface that stops unnecessary background processes from starting up without you needing to do anything. It's all automated, it does it for you. And of course you can back out to normal Windows desktop if you like, which is really cool. So Xbox mode, Xbox full screen experience is easy to use, and whilst it is a step in the right direction, the main bugbear is just how many places still require updating individually, with some requiring you to actually back out to Windows to update them. So there's no one-stop shop update center that updates everything in just one place. And that is probably one of my biggest issues with this device, is just how many places that you need to go update. If you want to know all those things, go watch our guides, our setup guides, and all that good stuff. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we get there sometime in the future. Just one update tab, please, that just pulls all these other places and just updates them in the background, but it makes it look like what you're seeing is all the updates there. Like, it can't be that hard, can it? Come on. This aside, though, the concept of full screen experience is actually great. A full access to pretty much all of your games within the Xbox app with options to launch other launchers within Xbox full screen experience, like Steam. Now, hopefully in the future, we'll be able to choose which app actually starts up in full screen experience, which kind of might be why they're calling it Xbox mode. Because, you know, there's a little toggle where you select which app, but the only app currently is Xbox to load into it. So I'm thinking with the move to Xbox mode, we'll actually see the other launchers listed in Windows, but that's just a hypothesis currently. Now, this is actually achievable right now with mods and stuff, but it's not officially supported yet. So whilst Xbox full screen experience is actually a much better user interface than just straight up Windows, for handhelds at least, we do occasionally run into bugs. Controller inputs not working for a few seconds, or actually even requiring a physical touch on the touchscreen for the controller inputs to then be registered and then like re-enabled. It's kind of frustrating. So just bear in mind that sometimes you'll have like a bit of a mixed experience there. But on the whole, once that like bug happens once and then it like sorts itself out, the rest of the time you're using it, you won't encounter it again. So with Xbox Play Anywhere being a big focus for Xbox currently, this means you don't need to buy the same game twice if you're playing on an Xbox and want to continue on the go on your handheld. Now, this is a great move for games that support this, and even better if you're a Games Pass subscriber, and I'm massively in on this. Like, I love the Play Anywhere thing. This is what I've wanted for 25 years, you know. I've wanted this for a long time. Buy my game once and have that copy like go across places, whether it's on Xbox or PC or handheld, whatever, right? This is like the dream goal, is to just buy a game once and play it wherever you want. I love that. So along with Play Anywhere, we've got the new shader compilation where supported games basically get their shaders pre-compiled during the download phase of the game. So as you're installing it, it's already pre-compiled and you can just play immediately instead of waiting ages for those shaders to compile. Now this is great and I absolutely love this as a going forward for PC, but currently there's of course not enough games that actually support it, but this is a new thing, right? So we need to give it time to develop. We've got to nurture it, you know, wait. But it's still kind of annoying. I want it now. Just give me all the games now that do it. Now, finally, there is options to install more performant and lightweight Linux-based operating systems like Bazzite or SteamOS. But the major benefit of Windows 11 and Xbox full screen experience is, of course, full access to literally all of your games. All anti-cheat games work. Think of your Call of Duty, your Marathon, your Battlefield, your Destiny, all the Game Pass games, they all work, which they just won't work on Linux. Now, I want to talk about Armoury Crate because I used to hate Armoury Crate when I was a PC builder. You know, I just did not like the software, but at the launch of the original ASUS R.O.G. Ally, that all changed for me because Armoury Crate is integrated into the Xbox Game Bar now, and I find that a great move. It makes it really easy to access all of your settings. Armoury Crate is actually my favorite OEM software, even though I used to actually hate the thing. I now love it because it allows you to change pretty much everything, and this software actually works, believe it or not. It lets you do so much stuff. You can calibrate stuff, you can make custom profiles. I love the game-specific button remaps and so much more that you can just do all there, and it's just been a really solid bit of software, and I actually really like it. So I'm glad that with the Xbox allies, Armoury Crate is still a big feature set for these devices because it is genuinely good. Now, of course, we've got an 80 watt-hour battery in this device, so it is a large battery, but we need to take into consideration that the AMD Z2 Extreme AI is more efficient than the previous Z1 APUs. So battery life here in AAA games is actually pretty good when you're using a reasonable TDP. Now you'll see me in pretty much every will it run video that I make, or like tips and tricks videos, anything like that. I show you how to make 20-watt custom profiles. This device has like preset 17-watt or all the way up to 25-watt for the TDP. I pretty much run everything at 20-watt because that's like a sweet spot between performance and battery life. But of course that's game dependent, but I am actually really happy with the battery life this time around, especially when you compare it to the OG Ally. Ooh. Now, one massively overlooked feature is the improved front-facing speakers, and to be honest, against everything I've tested, these are the best speakers and they sound great. When I'm playing a device that maybe has like top facing speakers that just blow out the top, they're okay. Then you pick up the Xbox Ally X and start playing something and you're like, whoa, the sound is really good and it's loud. I often think that the sound is like 100% because I've been playing a different device and I come back to this one and I'm on like 20%. I'm like, how is this thing that clear and that loud? The speakers are a big thing. And we all know audio is a huge part of immersion into games, cinema, whatever it might be. So it's important to have good speakers and they certainly live up here. So performance, of course, we've got the sweet spot of the Z2 Extreme AI and 24 gigabytes of RAM here. On top of that, we've got the Xbox full screen experience, which means that the system doesn't eat up as much RAM either, because Xbox full screen experience actually saves around 2 gig of RAM from the system level. So you can actually save RAM on that side. So let's say you wanted 16 gig to system like you normally would on a PC, right? Well, actually you only need to give it 14 gig now. You can put 2 more gig into VRAM because the actual system Windows is pulling less RAM resources to run. Now, whilst performance isn't AMD AI Max 395 Plus level, at this price point though, the Z2 Extreme AI is actually really good. I've not ran into any game that won't just actually run, unless it's like a bug in the game or a driver needs updating or something. But of course, the issue here lies with PC settings. So for PC noobs, it can be a bit overwhelming, and when you see a page full of game settings and don't know how to configure them or whether a game is even playable or whatever, it could be a little bit daunting. Now, luckily for you, you're in the right place. Go down there, hit subscribe, because we do a Will It Run series where we get the latest, greatest games and see how it will run on these devices against multiple different devices. And then you can see whether it's worth you actually like buying the game or not. We recently just did Resident Evil 9, so Requiem. We've also done Marathon. We've also done Fatal Frame 2 Remake. And of course, this week we'll be testing Crimson Desert as well. So subscribe. And mentioning Crimson Desert, we are seeing more and more support on this front too, because of course, Crimson Desert is the most anticipated new release. It's coming just this week. Again, we're going to do a video on it. They themselves have put out a performance expectations sort of like chart thing based on specific configurations for how well the Xbox Ally X will run it. And this is absolutely huge. This is a huge game, like most anticipated game. And they did not need to specify, here's an Xbox Ally X, this is how it's going to run on it. That's wicked. So adoption from developers, they're seeing this device and they're going, we need to make sure it runs on that device. That is massive for us handheld gamers. And it also looks like it's going to be totally playable here, but stick around for our video to find out if that's true or not. So hopefully developers take this approach and optimize their games for these handhelds more so, right, as time goes on, which I'm sure it will. Alongside this though, Xbox are taking their own approach to support new users with default game profiles. Now, these essentially take the guesswork out of supported games. So these profiles dictate the power profiles and frame rate caps to balance performance and battery life, and are actually applied by ASUS Armoury Crate. So this isn't something I use personally because I know how to configure these things myself, but for those that don't know or want an easy solution, this is actually a really cool feature. Now, of course, this is still limited in number into which games actually support this, but it can only be a good thing, right? Now, the screen. Now, this is, unfortunately, my biggest issue. So I wish it was both bigger and brighter, but this is a me issue because I've owned both the original ASUS R.O.G Ally, the ASUS R.O.G Ally X, and of course now the Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X as well, right? And now all of those use the exact same screen as this one. So in reality, the screen is actually really good. It's great, I would say. It's 120 Hertz, it's VRR, which means the refresh rate is variable. And whilst a game's FPS fluctuates, the screen will actually refresh in line with the frame rate to eliminate screen tearing and give an overall smooth appearance. It's excellent and, in my opinion, absolutely essential for handhelds that use low-powered APUs, where a game's frame rate will absolutely fluctuate. So VRR is a must-have. So whilst yes, I'd like a bigger, brighter screen, really, it's still great. And I think ASUS chose to reuse the same screen because it's decent and it keeps the costs down, which they've managed to do. Now I want to talk about the promises of the AI chip. So the Xbox Ally X is the only device on the market that uses the Z2 Extreme AI chip, and there's plenty of other Z2 Extreme devices out there, but not hosting that AI variant, right? So whilst there's basically zero features available for this right now, there are promises for features. So currently game highlight reels are being tested, and this lets the NPU part of the chip record highlights and create a reel of what you might think are important moments in gameplay, maybe headshots or kill streaks or something within an FPS game, for example. For me, I don't care. I'm sorry. It's not something I would ever use, but you might. So there you go. Now, the main one we're waiting on is ASR, Auto Super Resolution. They're actually putting that out to say that it's coming very, very soon. I think it's in April, right? So I'll be able to test that soon and we'll do a video, I'm sure. But this promises to upscale any game from a system level without the need of software upscaling. So it's yet to be seen how this is applied, how good the image quality will be, and how much latency will be involved as well. It could only be used for docked play to upscale to higher resolutions because of that latency potentially. But we just simply don't know right now. And honestly, until these features arrive, the AI part of the system just isn't something you should be thinking about. You shouldn't be buying one of these for that. So do I recommend it? I have told you that I have issues with it. We've got loud face buttons, only 2 back paddles, a whole feature set of currently empty promises on the AI front that just aren't even available yet, the same old screen that's been used in previous devices multiple times, and occasionally buggy Xbox full screen experience Xbox mode software. Now you would think that I wouldn't recommend it, right? But you're wrong. I do recommend it. Ergonomically, it's the best out there. And for a portable handheld system, this absolutely should be a priority, is the ergonomics. Long game sessions become a breeze here because of those ergonomics. The FPS games just excel here because you've got full control of that right stick effortlessly, because again, those ergonomics fix that asymmetrical design and it just naturally feels like you're playing on an Xbox controller. The speakers are fantastic. The impulse triggers are a great touch. And the performance is great when you watch our channel and configure, setup guides and game settings and stuff. So you know where to find us. You can literally play all of your games within Windows, with more developers showing support for these devices. And of course, Xbox as well is set to keep improving things too. So it is exciting. And yes, I did bash the screen, but if you're new to it and haven't owned either an OG Ally or Ally X, you'll absolutely love it. And well, if you're looking at a bigger, better OLED screen, you're looking at a £500 premium over the Xbox Ally X. £500 just for the screen. And I just can't recommend that. I can't. I love that device. I do. But I cannot recommend that you pay £500 more than the Xbox Ally X to get essentially the same performance. It's almost double the price. And that's where this ultimately absolutely wins here. The price point. Here in the UK, it's $799, less than £800. America gets it for just under $1,000, and it just undercuts absolutely everything else out there. And of course, with the prices across the board rising, the competition just can't hold up against the current price point of the Xbox Ally X. And it is honestly something you should seriously consider. That price point is unheard of. How long it will stay that price point, I can't tell you. So do I recommend going out and getting one of these at the current price point, brand new off the shelf right now, if you're interested in a Z2 Extreme device? Absolutely go ahead and get one. Like, you will not be missing out. Do I recommend the Xbox Ally X? Yeah, yes, I do. Are we going to feature all of these devices on the channel for more videos all the time? Yeah. Have you just bought one and you want to know how to set it up? You know where to find us. I could just do this all day. I really could. The video's over, by the way. So if you're still here, thank you for watching it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Go down there, like this video, subscribe, become a member, and you get to chat to us over on our private Discord. And of course, stay tuned for that Crimson Desert video coming this week. Bye.